Tonight on News Live at 6, store owners protested in front of City Hall on Friday. Citrus TV's Christian de Guzman speaks with one owner who explains why they need more police protection.
Plus, the Syracuse University Sheraton Hotel is dealing with a pipe burst. What this means for future events.
And a new word game is taking campus by storm. Syracuse University's marketing team has created their own version of Wordle. Live at 6 starts right now.
This is Citrus TV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
If you were looking to attend an event at the SU Sheraton, it may be on the chopping block. Good evening, everyone. I'm Nicole Aponte.
And I'm Chilekasi, Adele. The Sheraton Hotel is canceling future events expected to be held in the next few months. Citrus TV reporter Katie Fongvongsa joins us live from the Sheraton tonight. Katie, what happened at the hotel and what does this mean for SU since it is the closest hotel to the university?
Good evening, Chile. I'm currently outside the Syracuse Sheraton Hotel and Conference Center. This is where a flurry of events have been canceled. The hotel recently had a pipe burst, which remains to be the main cause. I reached out to the Sheraton for more information about the impact on rescheduling or moving those who had reservations. The hotel declined to comment. Many SU campus organizations and alumni associations use the Sheraton's conference and ballrooms as a venue during the school year. Due to flooding, banquets are being forced to relocate. C89 and SU Club Radio Organization plan to host theirs just over here in a little over 2 weeks from now. They are forced to turn their other locations as Sheraton has left them in the dark. Additionally, the Sheraton remains the closest hotel in proximity to the university as an affiliate. This is one of their main sources of business, which is renting out spaces. The ballroom appears to be closed for the next few months. Chile and Nicole, back to you guys.
Katie, thank you. Now the latest on COVID cases here at SU. There are 83 active cases. That's an increase of 7 since yesterday. This includes 16 new student cases and 2 new employee cases. The positivity rate remains at 2%.
And Syracuse University is ranked as one of the top universities in the country for online bachelor's programs. According to the U.S. and World reports, SU comes in at 59th for online bachelor programs, 8th in online business programs, and 40th in bachelor's programs for veterans. This is the second year SU is eligible to be on the list.
The internet puzzle game, Wordle, just got a little more orange with a Syracuse-themed version of the game. With more details on how Wordle is bleeding orange is Citrus TV's Tyler O'Neill. Tyler.
Thanks, Chile. The SU marketing department joked about making a Syracuse-themed Wordle. Well, that joke turned into a fun project for the team after hours. And now, the game is a reality. Wordle, the popular internet puzzle game where players get 6 tries to guess a 5-letter word, just got a fun orange twist. Syracuse University Marketing created a spin-off of the app called
Ottle.
Executive Director of Digital in the Division of Marketing, Robin Wade, says the game is great for those who bleed orange.
It really will, it'll test your knowledge of Syracuse University history and lore and the area.
The Ottle word could be 4 to 6 letters, while Wordle can only be 5. This change allowed for more SU-themed words, but the Director of Marketing and Web Development in the Division of Marketing says more letters means more of a challenge.
I don't think we realized how much harder it really made it until we started playing a few days in. And, we are the people that built up the dictionary of the answers, and we are still failing at it once in a while.
The spin-off game started out as a joke, but now it is in the top 10 most visited Syracuse sites. Freshman Jack Smith says the game is very appealing.
The 6-letter thing, I think it's a new layer of challenge, The 5-letter Wordle, it kind of got boring, but now it's like a fresh perspective. I'm really loving Ottle.
To play the game, users can visit Ottle, ottle.syr.edu to play the game. Today's word is 6 letters, so players will have 6 chances to guess the word. The marketing team has enough words for at least another semester, and they will keep the fun going until demand fades. Aren't you glad there will be a new puzzle every day? I'm Tyler O'Neill for Citrus TV News.
Tyler, thank you. And students can now access 5 more years of Elsevier articles in libraries across the university. This as SU libraries are in a 3-year open access pilot agreement with Northeast Research Libraries and Elsevier Publishing Company. The university's libraries are now one of the 13 NERL libraries participating in the open access pilot.
SU Libraries' Blackstone Launchpad is hosting the Holt Prize competition. This year, the global business competition will challenge students to pitch a business idea that can spark employment in the post-pandemic era. The competition will be held on March 4th in Byrd Library. All students are invited to apply with their idea for this year's challenge by February 26th.
Small store owners in Syracuse wait for action and reform after protesting at City Hall on Friday. This comes after a man was killed working at a gas station in South Syracuse. Citrus TV's Christian de Guzman speaks with one owner who wants to help keep his store safe.
If you talk to Bassam Saad for even just a second, you'll find out he's proud to be a member of the Syracuse community.
In the summertime, we just go around this neighborhood, just clean it, picking up trash. Sometimes at the schools, they need sponsor, team, whatever, I'll jump in.
Saad's been in Syracuse since 2008. He owns Lucky 7 Market and is always around to lend a hand.
I got people, even when we're closed, like neighbors, whatever. We need milk, we need clean supply. Can you get this for us? Sure. Sometimes I just go travel to different markets just to get what they need.
However, Saad and many small business owners want change. This comes after Raouf Muraham, a friend of Saad's, was killed while working at the Blue Star gas station in South Syracuse. Now owners are asking for more protection from the city.
They have the same situation I have. Break-in, robbery, all that. And they want to say something, and they want to show the government in Syracuse or New York State, we are in harm's way.
And now mark the time of action for these gas station and small store owners. On Friday, over 100 shops closed their doors early and went right down here to City Hall. Their message, plain and simple, not only help us protect our stores, but our families as well.
When somebody doing a crime goes in, we want him to stay in prison, to get fair, courts, whatever, but not to get out quick as the next day.
The majority of owners who gathered at City Hall are Islamic, and already some steps are underway to make change. Syracuse Mayor Ben Walsh has talked to the imam of a local mosque to address some of the demands of the owners, and Saad is ready for someone in charge to help him and his friends.
We was going to wait until, Mayor Walsh do something, or any above him, like the governor or something, to do something about that.
Christian de Guzman, Citrus TV.
Thank you. You want a copy?
Thank you, Christian. A missing child has been found more than 2 years after her disappearance in Saugerties, New York. Paisley Schultes was found in the room underneath a staircase after police acted on a tip and searched her non-custodial parents' home. They found the girl after an hour-long search. Kimberly Cooper, Kirk Schultes, and Kirk Schultes Sr. were all arrested and are facing multiple charges. Paisley was turned over to her legal guardian. Additional arrests are pending.
Republicans in New York State Senate are pushing to end mask mandates in schools. They argue that the state is following political science over regular science. An amendment to remove the school mask mandate was introduced Monday but failed. Governor Hochul has said she will make a decision in early March following the return from February break.
A big expansion is coming to the Wild Animal Park in Madison County. Owner of the park, Jeff Taylor, plans to lay out a $10 million expansion that would grow the park from 14 acres to over 100 acres. Taylor wants to include a campground with luxury cabins, tree houses, a wedding venue, and much more. Zone changes and plans have been approved, but permits for the park still need to be secured. Taylor says he wants to start construction in March after the permits are approved.
More than 1,000 New York City workers were fired yesterday due to the city's COVID-19 vaccine mandate. Close to 1,400 workers were let go and represent 1% of city workforce. 64% of those laid off are members of the Education Department. The United Federation of Teachers attempted to block the firings with a lawsuit, but a judge last Thursday ruled in favor of the city. Chile, walking into the station today, I was so surprised. Snow was falling.
It just doesn't stop. It keeps on going and going and going. That's, I think, the biggest contrast with somewhere like where I'm from and maybe where you're from. You know, if it snows, it just snows. But here, it's just kind of unpredictable. You don't know when it's coming.
Exactly. You know, it's stop and go, and you really never know when it's going to stop. But maybe our weather anchor does know. Jesse, what can you tell us?
Well, Nicole, Chile, I've got some breaking news for you. Snow actually at a certain point does melt. I know it's a surprise here in Syracuse where the year-round temperature is an average of 16. Well, actually today it's around 23, but we got a flood warning. And it's going to persist for a few days. The snow melts, gets into the streets, and we're actually going to see some rain in the coming days for the first time in a little while. Now, Syracuse staying at 23. We're standing in solidarity with the rest of central New York. We're seeing temperatures as low as 20 all across as you get up north, and it's still getting cold once you get down south. But tonight, it's still getting colder. That's just how it goes. 18 degrees, winds picking up a little bit, but I'll be back with more later. Chile, Nicole, what do you got?
Thank you, Jesse. Coming up, families of the Sandy Hook victims have reached a settlement with gun manufacturer Remington.
And the police chief of Canada's capital has stepped down amid the continued protests in the country. Those stories and much more when Citrus TV News continues tonight.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
What are you, superheroes?
Just four brothers who hate bullies and love this city. Gear up, guys.
One in three adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother,
Yes.
you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse,
Yes.
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, pre-diabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader.
Welcome back into News Live at 6. The families of the 9 victims in the 2012 Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting reached a $73 million settlement today. 4 insurers of the now bankrupt gun manufacturer Remington are paying the settlement.
The reached settlement comes more than 7 years after the families filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Remington. Remington is allowing families to release numerous obtained documents from the lawsuit, including its marketing of the weapon used in the shooting.
Donald Trump's accounting firm is cutting ties with the former president. Mazars USA says the decision comes in part because Trump's financial disclosures from 2011 through 2020 should no longer be relied on.
In a document, part of a civil investigation to Trump's real estate holdings, the firm wrote, quote, "While we have not determined the statements contain discrepancies, based upon the totality of circumstances, we advise you to no longer rely on those financial statements," end quote.
Dr. Robert Califf is now the new FDA commissioner. The Senate held a vote for his confirmation earlier today. Many Republican senators voiced concerns about how he would deal with the opioid epidemic and drugs used for abortions.
These concerns made the vote close with a 50-46 result. Califf had previously been the FDA commissioner in 2016. The same concerns were present then, but this time the vote was more in Califf's favor.
And actor Alec Baldwin is being sued by the family of the cinematographer killed on the set of the movie Rust. Attorneys for the family, Helena Hutchins, announced a wrongful death lawsuit today. The motion is filed in the name of Hutchinson's husband, Matthew, and their son.
This is the first lawsuit directly tied to one of the two people shot since the October 21st shooting. On that day, Baldwin was pointing a gun before filming on set in New Mexico when it went off, killing Hutchins and wounding movie director Joel Souza.
A jury has rejected Sarah Palin's libel suit against the New York Times. The judge in the case has already told attorneys Palin has not met the standard necessary to show the Times acted with actual malice.
Palin accused the Times of linking her political action committee to the 2011 mass shooting that injured then Arizona Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords in a 2017 editorial.
And Prince Andrew is settling with one of the women who accused him of sexual abuse. The settlement calls for the prince to make a substantial donation to the charity of the plaintiff, Virginia Giuffre.
Giuffre alleged that she was sexually trafficked to Andrew by now deceased financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein when she was 17 years old.
And President Biden says the U.S. has not yet verified Russia's claim, saying some of its troops have left the Ukraine border. The president spoke today at the White House, saying a Russian invasion of Ukraine is still possible.
Biden added that sanctions on the Russians from the U.S. and other allies in retaliation for a possible invasion would have a reciprocal effect on the American economy, telling Americans that defending democracy and liberty is, quote, never without cost. Biden added that price hikes and issues with the nation's energy supply could ensue.
And the police chief of Ottawa, Ontario, is stepping down amid the continued trucker protest in Canada's capital over the country's COVID-19 restrictions. Police Chief Peter Slowly resigned today. Slowly faced criticism from Ottawa residents over a perceived lack of action to quell the protest.
This comes a day after Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau invoked rarely used emergency powers in an effort to end the occupations in Ottawa and in other locations in the country.
And 2 new drugs have been found in the doping samples of Russian figure skater Kamila Valieva. The newly discovered substances are not on the list of banned drugs. Valieva is leading in singles figure skating after the first half of the competition. The skater has been allowed to compete despite testing positive for a banned heart medication from a sample taken in December.
The Olympic Committee announced it will withhold medals in any competition Valieva competes in until after the case is fully resolved. The competition will resume on Thursday with the free skate.
And while the Olympics in China experienced some winter weather, we got more of the same in Syracuse. We'll be back with more.
I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
OTN is on all your favorite apps: Apple TV, Fire TV, and Roku. Search Orange Television Network or OTN. OTN has its best shows, short films, and CitrusTV on demand. Family and friends can watch OTN too. Watch the live stream of OTN to catch live CitrusTV news, live from Studio B, and mornings on the Hill. On or off campus, watch OTN anywhere.
From the CitrusTV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to Citrus TV. I'm Jesse Cook. Here we got some weather, and we're looking overnight. It's going to be pretty cold, and then it won't be by the time you wake up. It's only going to be relatively freezing. 29 degrees when we wake up, but the wind is kicking up. So with that flood warning and the wind, it's a whole storm out there. I just pray you're not listening to James Taylor's Frozen Man. It's just a bad combination. But tomorrow it's still ramping up temperature-wise, probably because of the rain coming in as that warmer, moisture air comes down, and we get more in the area. Now, 5-day forecast, you look ahead, it's going to get warmer, but there's still some snow. Future temperatures, though, later tonight, it's getting warmer. And that's all I have for now. So, Chile, Nicole, back to you guys, I guess, for now.
Thank you, Jesse. The Biden administration announced it will invest $5 billion into building electric vehicle charging stations across the nation. The investment is part of Biden's $1 trillion infrastructure bill.
The money will be distributed to qualifying states over a 5-year period. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says he hopes the increase in charge ports will help calm range anxiety. Now over a look to what Tyler Melito has coming up in sports. Tyler.
Yeah, Chile, Super Bowl behind us, but Syracuse women's basketball in action right now. I'll have your update. Stay with us.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Yeah.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
The Super Bowl is now behind us, which means the next big ticket item in the sports world is March Madness. Good evening, I'm Tyler Melito. Welcome into sports. No game for the SU men tonight, but the women are in action. More on that in a moment, though. But as we currently stand, the Orange find themselves at 11-12 on the year, just 4-9 in ACC play. If the regular season were to have ended today, the Cuse would be the 11th seed in the ACC tournament, where they would face off against Pitt, who's 14th in the conference standings. As of 9:30 this morning, ESPN's Charlie Cream did not have SU in the tournament field of 68 for March Madness, or even on the bubble. Time is slowly running out on Von Reed's squad, with just 5 games remaining, including tonight, to make a push for a postseason. And circling back tonight, here's where we currently stand: a post-Valentine's Day date with Florida State. Start of the second quarter, Syracuse down, but they are hosting, so maybe, who knows, maybe they can turn around 20-18. As mentioned, no game tonight for the SU men after their win streak was snapped Saturday by Virginia Tech. They look ahead to Boston College inside the Dome this Saturday. But with 6 games remaining for them, the Orange have a tough road ahead of them, not only to make it back to the NCAA tournament, like the majority of the SU community, myself included, thought they would be at the beginning of the year, but to simply keep head coach Jim Boeheim's streak of consecutive winning seasons. He has not had a losing season since taking over. They're just 13-12 right now. Looking at the ACC games tonight, there are some notable ones: Clemson, Florida State, Wake Forest, Duke, NC State, Georgia Tech, all big games for Syracuse's ACC hopes. Shifting gears to the lacrosse world, both the SU men's and women's teams don't take the field until Sunday, but today marked a historic day in the world of professional lacrosse as the inaugural class in the Pro Lacrosse Hall of Fame was officially announced. 11 players in all inducted, chosen by a committee assembled by the Premier Lacrosse League. In the inaugural class include 3 SU alums: Gary Gate, Casey Powell, and Pat McCabe. And in the NHL tonight, the Islanders, Sabres, and Rangers all find themselves in action. First with the Rangers, they take on a Boston Bruins rival team. I know Jesse Cook will be watching. Rangers 6-6 in the conference, 3rd in the Metropolitan Division, looking to make it 2-0 on the season after winning 5-2 in November. Puck drop is set for 7 p.m. in MSG. As for the Islanders and Sabres, they both sit on the outside looking in of the current Eastern Conference playoff picture. Islanders had a high expectation to possibly win the Stanley Cup. Sabres, they have not looked good in years, but what can you say? But these two teams have a chance to capitalize off of one another for the second time as they faced off. Game 1 going in favor of the Islanders back in December. They'll be playing in Buffalo. Puck drop is also set for 7.
Thanks, Tyler. Jesse has one last look at weather when we come back.
You've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet,
Stumbled
it can be
at the end,
reversed.
but oh well. That was good.
I've tried
That was
exercising.
decent.
It just makes me hungry for bacon. I love bacon too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text Barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News for one last look at your weather. Wake up in the morning, it's going to be 29 degrees with 18-mile-per-hour wind. Now, Tyler Melito, our sports guy, earlier said something about the Bruins. Well, that 29, I think that's roughly the amount of goals they're going to put up tonight. Let's go Boston, baby. And then here's our photo of the day. Who could have taken such a lovely photo of the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile? I can't tell you how excited I was to see that marching down the street, but I'm even more excited to hear what Chile and Nicole have to say to wrap up our show.
Thank you, Jesse. Olympic gold medalist Simone Biles is engaged. Biles shared photos on social media today showing her fiancé, NFL defensive back Jonathan Owens, went on one knee and popped the question.
Biles said answering the question was, quote, the easiest yes. Congratulations to the two on a storybook Valentine's Day.
I love Simone Biles. Love her. Would I want to get engaged on Valentine's Day? No.
You wouldn't?
I wouldn't. I think it's cliche.
When would you want to get engaged then?
Any other day of the year?
It doesn't make any sense.
You don't think it's cliche to propose on Valentine's Day?
I mean, do I really care that much? I'm not sure.
Well, the engagement anniversary would be on Valentine's Day then. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
To each their own, right?
I mean, Simone Biles is so talented, and, you know, I'm really, really happy for her. I remember back in, you know, Olympics, just watching her. It's just absolutely amazing.
Glad to see.
But that is Citrus TV News for this Tuesday.
For more of the latest, follow us on Twitter at CitrusTV News or check us out online at CitrusTV.com.
Now, for Tyler Melito, Jesse Cook, and the entire Citrus TV News team, I'm Nicole Aponte.
And I'm Chilekasi Adele. Thanks for giving us your time, and good night.